I'm joined in studio by Sikelo Kula. Now, he's just written his very first novel, and it's part of a very special series. He's here to tell us all about it. Hello.
Hi.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too as well.
Now, you've written your very first novel.
Indeed.
It's been published. You're having your launch tonight with Dion Mayer. He's going to
Sure,
be interviewing
hugely
you.
exciting.
You must feel incredible.
I mean, I went from feeling very nervous to feeling very excited. At first, I didn't even actually know who he was. And everyone was like, "Are you crazy? You don't know who Dion Mayer is?" And then I went and Googled him, and I just saw his website, and I was immediately like blown away. Like, he's one of the top writers in South Africa, if not the best. So I was like, wow. I was like, yeah, I went crazy.
He's an incredible man. You're going to have such a great time speaking to him. You told me you just finished one of his books yesterday.
Yeah, I did last night, Cobra, and it was wonderful just to see how many elements of the South African society that he brought together like successfully, and that's what I kind of aim for as well. I want to achieve that. I call it the gold standard of literature.
Yeah.
And it's something that I'm aiming for as well.
Now, Dion writes crime thrillers. You said you finished Cobra yesterday. What kind of books did you read growing up? What sparked your interest in reading and writing?
And you know, actually, I was thinking about that as well. I anticipated that you'd ask me this. But, well, the interesting thing is I didn't actually read a lot when I was growing up. Because reading like books and stories, it kind of felt like you were going against the grain, like you were going against what everyone else was doing. So it was kind of something that you'd do only in school, and then only as I grew up. And then back in 2008, when I thought, you know what, 5 years from now, when they asked us in the subject called life orientation in class in grade 11, they asked us, what are your long-term goals? And I was like, I want to write a book 5 years from now. So in 2012, I was like, Stella, what are you doing to get yourself closer to that goal? That's when I first then thought to myself, you know what, I need to be proactive about this. But still, I wasn't reading enough. It's only now that I'm really like investing myself in that. And then I've read Stephen King and Lee Child, like the Jack Reacher series by Lee Child, and Stephen King Under the Dome, and I think 22/11/63 is the book about the American president who was assassinated in 1963. So those have been really interesting. And it showed me a lot. And just from what I learned in those books, I thought, what have you been doing? You need to read more. So, so now I have a library card, thank goodness. So I go to the library a lot to go in and take a book.
Yeah.
So now, since I've just finished the Dion Mayer book, I can then just go back now for maybe a Lee Child book as well.
Do you wish you started reading earlier?
I do. I feel like I would have like learned much more. I feel like my writing skills would have been much more refined if I had done that. And I think I would have also been able to inspire other youngsters as well, because I feel like other youngsters did at some point. I think like when all of you say in grade 9, you're all kids and you haven't really emerged, like your gifts or whatever hasn't really like shown itself. I think when you get to a later level now, when you begin to shine, other youngsters around you are like, okay, wait, so this guy that has been with us all this time, he has all of these gifts. And then they start to look to you. So I think that if I had started reading earlier on, I would have set a better example for all the others around me.
Do you think that young children in South Africa today are reading enough?
I don't think so. And I think that can be attributed firstly to what I was talking to you about earlier on, just about the reading culture, the fact that there isn't a reading culture, that books are seen as something that should remain in school, and that you're only bringing them home either to put them away until tomorrow when you go to school or when you do your homework. And that's about it. And that's where I feel the Funza Literacy Trust is great as well in the work that they do. That in their words, to use their words, they talk about sparking a reading revolution, which goes to that culture as well. But I think also another thing is access to libraries as well. I think in Philippi and Lower Crossroads or Philippi East, and Crossroads as well, the libraries there are just, you don't find the kind of books that you're excited about. So that's the other problem as well. And that's where Funza, again, with its Moby Library, providing online platforms for like youngsters to get access to stories, that's where they've been great as well.
Tell us about that Moby Library.
Like, it's awesome. I was actually thinking about it the other day, and I just thought to myself, you know what, it works on 2 levels. The one level is the whole sparking a reading revolution, providing youngsters with easy access to stories, and The other level is that you get to also just suss out new writers, and that's where I also came up as well. You get to, through all these stories, you get to sort of uncover new gems, you know, tomorrow's writers. So it works on two levels.